What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Black-White Zombies. Hope you're ready to eat some zombie brains. We're going to play first. Or human brains, either one. If you're a zombie, whatever floats your boat, man. Yeah, this is an awesome hand. We have triple one-drop zombies, which is really nice. We'll be online for Cryptbreaker, Wayward Servant, and Lord of the Accursed. Yes, we will keep on this one. Let's get the, there we go, get the graveyard all squared up. Let's go ahead and shock in the Godless Shrine. I'm going to pay 2 on that one. And let's go and lead off with Cryptbreaker. This way, if we, not Cryptbreaker, we lead off with the Dread Wanderer. Dread Wanderer comes into play tapped. That way we can shock in the Godless Shrine next turn, and then we can put in the Cryptbreaker and the other Cryptbreaker, and then draw a couple cards off that. Let's go and shock this one in. Yes, indeed. Maybe we want to split it up just a little bit. Well, we could gain a little bit extra. If we kind of tap out for Wayward Servant and then get these out next turn, we'll kind of get a little bit extra. Let's do that. Let's go and swing it for 2. I think I'm okay with that. I was thinking about going for Cryptbreaker and drawing a card, but actually I like swinging in for 2 and then going for the Wayward Servant. That way if we hit the land drop, we can get 3 one-drop zombies down, and that'll be a nice little incremental damage from that, so I'll take that. So let's go swing in for 2, drop our opponent down to 18, unless they have some sort of rebuttal. They do not. Go down to 18. Let's go and go for the Wayward Servant. Tap for black. There we go. Let's go ahead and pass the turn. Alright, so next turn, we're looking at probably going Cryptbreaker and Gravecrawler. If we hit the land drop, then we'll go for another Cryptbreaker, and then that'll put us online to go for Lord of the Accursed. So this is kind of exactly how you want this deck to curve out. Get a nice little turn 1 threat down. Either get a 2-drop or dump 2 of your 1-drop creatures out on the battlefield, and then finish it up with a nice little zombie lord. So definitely always take that. So, but yeah, as far as this build of zombies, this is the black-white version of zombies. So one of the things that we're running that makes us want to go black-white is we're running Wayward Servant. So with Wayward Servant, whenever a zombie enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So it's a good way for us to kind of get into spots where we can slowly get some nice little kind of like nickel and dime damage to our opponent simply by casting our creatures. Let's say Gravecrawler dies, and then we can cast it back out of the graveyard for a nice little Wayward Servant activation. So pretty cool little zombie card. We draw into Tidehollow. The other reason we're splashing for white. Let's go ahead and go Cryptbreaker. That way we can get at least a certain. If they have some sort of removal from us swinging in, at least we're going to get the Wayward Servant trigger, or it forces them to kind of use that removal now if they're going to go on Wayward Servant. We could have gone Tidehollow, but kind of like forcing the issue right now. Okay, terminate on the Wayward Servant. Fair enough. So we're going to get down Cryptbreaker, and let's go ahead and go for the Gravecrawler too. And I think on this one, instead of swinging it for 2, we're just going to go and tap Cryptbreaker. That way, hopefully, we can hit the land drop for the turn. Yeah, beautiful. Let's go and get the swamp down. Let's get another Cryptbreaker down, and then let's go and pass turn. Okay, so now we're looking at going Lord of the Accursed next turn. If we want to, we could go Tidehollow, but I think I'd like to push in and get some Zombie Lord action going. So we're looking at 3, 5. It's going to be 3, 5, 8, and then 10. So we're going to be swinging in for 10, so I'll definitely take that. So if they get something like Tarmogoyf out there, something, they'll be able to kind of block us. Or if they go Liliana the Veil, we're going to have a nice little suite of creatures for us to kind of choose from, to sacrifice from. So yeah, this is kind of pretty much how you want to draw it up. You want to just dump all your little 1-drops and get a nice little Zombie Lord out there and just start swinging in, going beat sticks. I think if you're going to build zombies in Modern, one of the biggest things you need to when playing this deck is learning when to swing in and when to go for a Cryptbreaker activation. So that's kind of one of the main things. And let's see if they're going to go for the Scavenging Ooze on Wayward Servant. Fair enough, man. Goes to a nice little 3-3. Okay, let's go to get these swamp down. Let's go and go Lord of the Accursed. Yeah, I like that, man. Okay, let's go and swing in. Swing in Gravecrawler and the Wanderer. We're going to swing in Cryptbreaker. No, let's go and hold off. We're going to get him for 5. It's going to put him down to 12. If they want to chump block, then we'll take care of it. If the Gravecrawler dies, then we can bring him back out and recast it. If not, then we can tap our 3 zombies. And actually, let's go and do that now. That way if we hit the land drop. Okay, we'll be online for next turn. Alright, so we can go Tidehollow next turn. See what's in their hand. There's no more creature cards in the graveyard unless they have some sort of removal to stop us. So they get in the spots where if they do swing in with Scavenging Ooze, we're going to have a free open board to come across next turn. Now, as far as removal that we have in the deck, we are running white, so we're splashing 2 Path to Exiles, and we also have 4 Fatal Pushes. I'm pretty sure there's 4 Fatal Pushes in here. So, but yeah, so if we can draw into one of those pieces, we haven't seen it yet, so that'd be really nice to take care of the Scavenging Ooze, and that'll kind of allow us to kind of swing in for a nice little board state. But I think right now we're looking at 5, 10, we've got 12 represented, so we can at least kind of push in, and you know, they may have another source of removal to kind of complicate things, and we may, I don't know if we exactly want to swing in Lord of the Accursed, so we'll kind of figure out exactly where we want to go. Death Baron. Okay, let's go to get the swamp down. Let's go and go Tidehollow. And then we can follow with Death Baron, which should be enough to kind of help close it out. We also have the Lord of the Accursed activation, where all of our creatures gain menace, so that'll kind of stop Scavenging Ooze from swinging in. Okay, got the Tidehollow trigger. They do have 3 mana up with 6 cards in the hand, so we'll see what they're working with. Okay, so there's Lightning Bolt, Scavenging Ooze, Liliana the Veil. So there's 2 pieces of removal. So if we go Terminate, that's going to take care of the little zombie lord if we swing in. And they also have Lightning Bolt. Now if we go for Death Baron, they're going to go for Lightning Bolt in response. I guess on this one, I'm trying to think what we want to take. Probably the Lightning Bolt or the Terminate. Can't be regenerated. Let's go ahead and take the Terminate on the Tidehollow, and it's going to cut them off red mana. Let's go ahead and take the... I guess, you know, either way it's going to cut them off on red mana. Probably doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and take the Lightning Bolt. That way they're going to have to tap out to get the Lightning Bolt back on Terminate. Okay, so now we can go Menace. So we're looking at 10 coming across for Menace, and they will have one a little bit, but we're gonna have that's gonna be a guaranteed activation. So do we want to chunk Death Baron? Yeah, they're gonna have Lightning Bolt. Even if they do blast it, we're gonna get in for some nice damage. Yeah, let's go and do that. I like that. That's for sure some damage that we're gonna be able to get in. So let's go and swing in. And that's gonna be exactly 10, unless they want to use that Lightning Bolt to take care of the Lord of the Accursed. And then we can follow up with a nice little Death Baron next turn. Okay. So they all have Menace. The Scavenging Ooze is not going to be able to block. So we're going to probably see a Lightning Bolt. Yep. Terminate on the Lord of the Accursed. Actually, just get the revealed hand up. There we go. Let's cross that Terminate off. Okay. Looks like we're getting in for, it's going to be 6 coming across. It's going to put them down to 6. But then we're also going to be able to, you know, if they want to go Liliana, we can sacrifice a creature, sure. But we have Death Baron next turn, so hopefully kind of be in a spot to where we can kind of help close it out. See if they hit the land drop to get into Chandra. They do have enough mana for Liliana the Veil, but if they're not hitting their land drops, they can always go for a Dark Confidant. But hopefully at this point we should be able to kind of close it out, or at least I'll take that. Especially with the Menace activation. Well, Lord of the Accursed just got exiled, so we're not going to be able to do that. But Lord of the Baron with that Death Touch will definitely be a way for us to deal with that Scavenging Ooze. So that's one of the things that makes Death Baron so good, is that you know, skeleton creatures, which are not running, but other zombie creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. So it's a really good way for you just to swing in with a bunch of 1/1 zombie dudes and kind of clear your opponent's entire board out. Especially if you can get into spots where you can represent lethal. So, really good card for the deck. It's kind of one of those, like, I've always used him in Commander. And then, I was like, alright, buddy. I get to play with you in Modern, man. I'm really excited. Okay, so our opponent is going to make us sacrifice a creature. So we're looking at, what are we going to sacrifice? I guess Cryptbreaker on this one? Because I like having the 2/1 body. Guess it doesn't really matter. They'll get that Lightning Bolt back if we swing in with the Tidehollow. Let's go and go Cryptbreaker. That way we can just hold on to just one more power and toughness. So, because we're looking at 3, and that'll be 5. Yeah, either way, if we swing in either way, we're going to be able to kind of close it out with the Death Baron. So I'm okay with that. And they are looking at Scavenging Ooze in the hand, Dark Confidant, Lily. They did get that down, and they have a Chandra left. So let's see if they make the land drop. If not, then we should be able to close it out simply just going for a nice little Death Baron. But yeah, that's what makes, when you're going the black-white version of the zombie deck, so it makes, you know, there's sometimes where you're not going to be swinging in with your Tidehollows. So it really kind of makes, you get a little bit extra value off your Cryptbreaker, especially you're going to be able to take a card from them and then tap 3 zombies and draw an extra card. So pretty fun for the deck. Draw into Marsh Flats. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the Marsh Flats down. I was thinking, you know, do we want to discard a card to Cryptbreaker? Let's go ahead and just get the Death Baron down. That's going to be a nice little zombie bonus across everybody, and then we can just swing in and present lethal, because that's going to be a 3, that's going to be 5, and then that's going to be 3 coming across. So basically, they're just only going to be able to block 1 creature. Okay. Opponent scoops it up. Too many zombies, they say. No mas. No mas zombies. Let's go ahead and bring in the Path to Exile. Do we want to bring in Path? We could bring in Lifebane Zombie. It's going to take care of the green creatures in their hand, but usually by the time we're going to be online for Lifebane Zombie, they're already going to have Tarmogoyf down, so it's really not going to do us that good. On this one, I'm trying to figure out if we want to bring in Phyrexian Obliterator. That's going to allow us to, whenever stealth damage, they're going to have to sacrifice that many permanents. kind of put them in spots where maybe they don't want to swing in. But honestly, you know, we got 30 Fatal Pushes. We have 2 Path to Exiles. I'm thinking, let's go ahead and go down on a Wayward Servant in this matchup, just because removal is so cheap for them. Let's go ahead and bring in the Thoughtseize. I think I'm okay with this match. I mean, you know, if worse comes to worse, if we want to bring in Kalitas next turn to kind of get a little bit more value, and then we kind of go from there. But yeah, we're going to keep on this one. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, mainly Kalitas is in the sideboard to help against the burn matchups. So, and you're playing against green-black, and then plus we have the fatal push, so you can get a little bit extra value off those fatal pushes. But yeah, mainly against the burn matchup. Just gain a little bit of life, kind of help you out there. See if they want to go first. But yeah, it's a fun deck to play. It's not overly powered. So do we want to keep on this one? So we're looking at Gravecrawler. Actually, we'll probably lead off Diregraf, Wayward Servant, Gravecrawler. We are on the draw. I guess we'll keep. You know, if they get into an early Dark Confidant, then we can go Fatal Push, and then hopefully we draw into one of our Zombie Lords or a nice little Cryptbreaker. But this is like right on the cusp of mulliganing or not. So it looks like they don't have any early hand disruption, so I'll take that. Liliana of the Veil. Let's go ahead and get the Catacombs down. Let's go ahead and grab our black-white source, get it out of the way. Let's go ahead and shock that in. Go for the, yes indeed, pay 2 life. Let's go for the Diregraf. Now, if you have any zombies that enter the battlefield tap, you always want to lead off with them on turn 1, because we do have another 1-drop zombie. So if we draw into Cryptbreaker, we get into a spot to where we can go cast Gravecrawler. It's going to come into play untapped, and then you can cast the Cryptbreaker too, and then have 3 zombies active. You just don't want to find yourself in a spot to where if you do draw into a Cryptbreaker, you can get them down, and then you're going to miss out on a zombie activation because one of them comes into play tapped. So that's always a little bit of a bummer. Draw into Marsh Flats. Let's go ahead and put the, let's see. Still want to go for the Fatal Push on the Tarmogoyf for sure. Let's go ahead and get the Swamp down. We'll just leave the Marsh Flats up. Let's go Gravecrawler. Anything else now? Let's go ahead and pass turn. Let's see if they have any sort of hand disruption. If not, then we'll kind of push this Fatal Push in. We'll fatally push the Tarmogoyf off into the nether. Alright, coming in hot for 3. Let's go and fire the Fatal Push up. There we go. And then we're online to go for Liliana of the Veil next turn, which is not going to be that bad. They do have 4 cards in hand just like us, but it'll be a good spot for us to kind of, you know, push a nice little Liliana and start attacking their hand. I think that's what makes this deck. Liliana really makes these zombie decks really well, in that you're attacking their hand, so you're running 30 zombies in here, so you can simply just keep deploying your zombie army out, and even through a board wipe or any sort of you know, targeted removal, you're just going to be drawing so many zombies that, and you keep deploying them out, it's going to be hard for them to keep up with the removal, especially with Liliana attacking their hand. So it's always really good. See what they're going for. Kitchen Finks, fair enough. Okay, now if we do go for Liliana, we can't block with Gravecrawler. Gravecrawler cannot block. So if we do go for Liliana, it's going to put us in a spot where they're going to be able to take care of it. Ooh, Death Baron. Let's go ahead and get the Swamp down. Or do we want to go for the Marsh Flats? Let's get the Marsh Flats down. And then we could get into a spot to where... Yeah, let's go and Crack. Let's grab a Swamp. Let's go Death Baron. We can swing it with the Zombie. It's going to put them down to 16. And if they want to swing it with Kitchen Finks, sure, go for it. But if they want to block, okay, yeah, we can get the -1 trigger on there. And then that puts us in a spot where it's going to have that Persist trigger, and then we have Wayward Servant where we can chump block on the Kitchen Finks, and then we'll be in a spot where we can kind of deploy Liliana of the Veil and not worry about them swinging in. We're not going to trade with Death Baron. If they want to swing in with 2, go for it. But I'm okay with this spot right here. Yeah, so we're just looking at Wayward Servant, and then we go Liliana of the Veil, and then we can start plussing up Liliana and hopefully get into the spots where we can kind of grind it out from there. But yeah, as far as our opening hand goes, you're always looking for Cryptbreaker, because that's going to allow you to get in the spots where you can just get that extra value out of your zombies. But sometimes you just, you know, that was like right on the cusp of a keepable hand. You know, we could have mulliganed and maybe mulliganed into something that's not that good. So, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get the Swamp down. On this one, they have 1 card in hand. Non-land card. Let's go ahead and go. We're doing it out of order, but I kind of want to see what that last card is. Maybe it's a Liliana or something. Chandra. Okay, yes, I'll take Chandra. I'll take that. Yes, indeed. Okay, so we got Chandra. Anything else? No, we'll go on fast turn. All right, so next turn we're looking at Wayward Servant. Our opponent is in top deck mode, so we can get the Wayward Servant down, block on the Kitchen Finks. If they have some sort of removal, they're going to have to go for Tidehollow to take care of Liliana. If not, we can kind of just push in like that. Okay, no push from Kitchen Finks. Godless Shrine. Let's go and shock this in. Yes, indeed. Let's go Wayward Servant. And then let's go Liliana the Veil. And we're just going to attack their hand on this one. Because we do have a chump blocker in the Wayward Servant on the Kitchen Finks. That'll allow us to kind of stop him from swinging in, and then it'll put us in a spot where we can start swinging in. So I'm okay with this. And then if we can go for the activation. Now, our opponent does have Grafdigger's Cage out on the battlefield, so that will allow us, that'll stop us from getting our one little Gravecrawler out there, which is a bummer. Poor little buddy. He just wants to play with his zombie friends, man. Okay, Kitchen Finks coming in at Liliana. Let's go ahead and go. We could -2, but we'll lose Wayward Servant. Yeah, let's go and block. I'm okay with that one. We're going to chump block Wayward Servant. Fair enough, buddy. Take care of the Kitchen Finks. Not going to come back. Let's see if they're casting a creature out there. If they are going for a creature, we have the -2 ability on Liliana. If not, we're going to be able to plus up and kind of take care of whatever they got in their hand. Draw into Thoughtseize. Yeah, let's just go and fire up the Liliana. Each of us discard a card. We have Thoughtseize, but it's basically the same thing with them having one card in the hand. Okay, they're going to go for the Lightning Bolt. See if they're going up top and they're going to redirect over to Liliana. So each player discards a card. We lose the Thoughtseize. Let's go and swing in for 2 with the Tidehollow. Put him down to 18. Anything else for the turn? No, we're going to go past it. Okay. So now, we're dead to another Lightning Bolt with Liliana, but at least we can kind of, we get into spots where if they do get a creature out there, we may go for the -2 ability. We'll see. Okay, now we're looking at Scavenging Ooze. We do have 1, 2, 3. We got 4 creature cards in our graveyard. 1, 2, 2 creature cards in our opponent's graveyard. Exiling the Grafdigger. Oh, man. Hey, buddy. Sorry, man. He just wanted to play with his friends. That's not fair, dude. Okay. Drawn to Wayward Servant. Let's go ahead and... Do we want to sack on this one? We're going to lose the Liliana. Yeah, let's go ahead and push in. I think I'm okay with this. It's going to put him in a spot where we can push in for 2. If we don't, we just plus on Liliana. They swing with Scavenging Ooze, and then we go the following turn. Then we're going to keep our Liliana, but we're going to lose Wayward Servant. It kind of puts us in a spot where if we don't draw into the Zombie Lord... Yeah, I like minusing on this one. We're going to get in for 2. They're in top deck mode. If they have some sort of removal, fair enough. If not, we're going to be able to start swinging in for 4. So I like that. Let's go and swing in. And if we do have 4 copies of Liliana in the deck, so if we, odds are we might draw into another one. So getting in for 2, put them down to 17. All right, Raging Ravine. Okay, that is a clock right there with the Raging Ravine. We're going to be able to get in for 4. Fatal Push. Beautiful draw. I'll take that. It's going to come in hot for 4. Drop them down to 13. Really, the only thing that we need to kind of bust this open is really kind of get the clock up and running is that nice little Zombie Lord. So Death Baron or Lord of the Accursed would be a good option. Now, they do have enough mana for Raging Ravine. We're looking at 4 total mana. They can go for that. That's going to be them tapping out for their entire turn. But luckily, we do have Fatal Push to kind of take care of any sort of creatures that they get out on the battlefield. Oh, or if they go for Liliana. Okay, if they go for the -2, we're going to get rid of the Wayward Servant and then swing in with Tidehollow. Okay, if target player sacks a creature, let's go ahead and sacrifice the Wayward Servant on this one. We'll still have Tidehollow to swing in at Liliana, take care of her. Catacombs. Let's go and get that down. Come in hot at Liliana. Look at Tidehollow, man. Putting in some work, taking care of Chandra, taking care of Liliana. He's the, he or she's the ultimate Planeswalker, man. Alright. Now, if our opponent does go for the Raging Ravine, we still have Fatal Push up, so we'll see if they opt to go for him. If they, I'd very much enjoy if they go Raging Ravine, and that way we can kind of stop them from swinging in. Or they're going to tap out for the turn, basically. Okay, and this might be a Raging Ravine. Okay, going for the Pulse. They're going to get Chandra back. Fair enough. Chandra goes back to the hand. Let's go and crack. Let's grab a Godless Shrine off this one. Put it into play tapped. Draw into Blood Scrivener. Let's go and get that down. And if they want to go for Chandra, then go for it next turn. We still have Fatal Push in the hand, so we're not going to have an active Blood Scrivener. And unfortunately, well, if they deploy some creature out, we'll go for that, and that'll turn us online for Blood Scrivener. So I'll probably go for that. But hopefully they go for the Raging Ravine activation, and then we kind of stop that. Okay, looks like they're going for Chandra on this one. There you go. Okay, now with Chandra, exile the top card of your library, cast it, add double red to your mana pool. -3 deals 4 damage to target creature, then -7 whenever you cast a spell, deals 5 damage to target creature or player. Okay, so they're going, Chandra's going up top, man. Fair enough, buddy. Take care of the Blood Scrivener. Draw into another swamp. Let's go get the swamp down, then we're going to go and pass turn. Alright, like I said, we still have a Fatal Push on Raging Ravine, but now that they have Chandra out there, they're going to be able to keep plussing with that extra red mana. So we're looking at 1, 2. That's really going to cut their Raging Ravine activations in half, basically. So they're looking at just 2. Exile top card of your library. Bloodstained Mire. Not the best draw they're looking for. But yeah, if they do go for the +2 on Chandra, they can start activating Raging Ravine pretty well. Okay, let's go for the Fatal Push. Take care of the Raging Ravine. Okay. Oh, they have a super secret backup Raging Ravine. Draw into Cryptbreaker. Okay, let's get the Cryptbreaker down. Now, they are looking at... They're a little bit far away from the -3 ability on Chandra. So we do have Cryptbreaker. It's not the best. But, worst comes to worst, if we draw into a dead card, we can at least go for the Cryptbreaker activation of discard a card, create a 2/2 black zombie. So, we'll be going for that, potentially. But they're going to have Raging Ravine online, especially with that 2 mana floating. So, it's going to be a little bit hard for us to come back from that. So, we're at least going to try. We're looking at it swinging in. Oh, well, if you have a turn mate in the hand, that'll definitely kind of clear it up a little bit. That'll leave up just enough mana for a Raging Ravine. We'll go and hold out. It's going to swing in, get a counter. It's going to be a nice little 4/4 body. Put us down to 5. And then next turn it's going to be a 5/5 with that additional +1 counter on there. So, draw into Swamp. That will not get it done. Good game, man. Good game, buddy. We tried. That was a close little match. We were just kind of missing some nice little zombie lord. But yeah, when you're playing against a deck that's full of spot removal, man, this is, hey man, ain't the best in the world. Do we want to go for the Lifebane Zombie? No, do we want to change anything? Potentially Path to Exile? I think I'm okay. I kind of liked this matchup last time. Yeah. Let's go and ship it back. But yeah, as far as this deck goes, I am recording in the tournament practice room just to, for full transparency, and that's not me trying to hide anything, or it's just, Black-White Zombie's not a tier 1 deck. It's not. It's not the best deck out there. You're not going to take this to... I mean, this is more geared towards a Friday Night Magic style deck. I mean, that's what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. We're looking at Triple Swamp. We have Liliana, the Veil, Fatal Push, Blood Scrivener. Yeah. Do we want to keep on this one? It's going to be a heavy Liliana. If they have an Abrupt Decay, we have a backup Liliana. We do have Fatal Push. They can minus to get rid of a creature. Then we get into spots where we have Blood Scrivener online. Yeah, let's go and keep. Not too bad. Might be a little bit risky. We don't have a fetch land for Tidehollow, but those are really more splashes more than anything. So let's go and get the Swamp down, then we're going to go and pass turn. But yeah, so as far as decks like these, I enjoy playing them in the tournament practice room because... they're not the best deck out there. This is something that you could definitely take to a Friday Night Magic and have fun with. And that's what it is. It's supposed to be a fun deck. Let's go and go for Blood Scrivener, get that down, then we're going to go and pass turn. Yeah, so if I ran this deck through the leagues, it would just be 5 videos of Burn and... 5 videos of Burn and Eldrazi Tron just stomping zombies. And that wouldn't make the zombies very happy. So I like keeping zombies happy. That's what we need to go for. Let's go and get the Swamp down. Okay, on this one, we go Liliana minus, so we have backup Liliana, and we get her down and plus up next turn. It forces them to use some sort of removal. Yeah, let's go Liliana. We get the minus ability, target player sacks a creature, take care of the Dark Confidant, we still have Fatal Push in the hand, swing it for 2, puts them down to 18. And then if they do have some sort of Abrupt Decay or Lightning Bolt they want to redirect over to Liliana, they can go for that. We'll also get into spots where we can activate her, discard another card, and then get another creature down. So I'll definitely take that. If we can, it'd be nice to get into spots where we can hold on to Fatal Push. But we can just dump our hand and dump our opponent's hand, then we'll have an active Blood Scrivener. But yeah, this, part of me wanting to build this deck is the interaction between Blood Scrivener and the Cryptbreaker. So, I mean, it's just a lot of fun. If you can go Hellbent and then you can start tapping your zombies, drawing 2 cards for 1 life, oh, man. Feel good Magic moment. This is one of my favorite things in Magic to do is to draw cards and to lose life, man. Love it. Best thing you can do. I see what they're going for. Get down another Dark Confidant. Probably going to go Fatal Push on this one and then plus on Liliana. Cryptbreaker, there you are. What's up, buddy? Let's go and get the island. Get the swamp down. Well, I'm thinking island. Okay, so we've got Fatal Push on Dark Confidant. And then they're not going to get the card draw. They have 4 cards in the hand. Or we can go Death Baron and Cryptbreaker. Or we can do Death Baron and... Yeah, let's go and go Fatal Push on Dark Confidant. Then let's go ahead and go Death Baron. Let's get that down. Okay, now we're looking at a 3-2 body swinging. Let's go and swing in for 2. Going to come in hot. It's going to put them down to 15. They got 4 cards in hand. I'm trying to figure out if we want to plus Liliana or just hold on to Cryptbreaker and have backup Liliana. Yeah, let's go and plus Liliana. We're going to discard the other Liliana. If they have some Abrupt Decay or Lightning Bolt, so be it. So we're going to discard Liliana. See what they discard. They're going to have 3 cards in hand. If it sticks, then we'll be awesome. We can get down Cryptbreaker, get into spots where we're going to go Hellbent, especially if we get the land drop for the turn, and kind of start drawing a few more extra value creatures. That's kind of, it gets an attrition-based deck like Jund. If you can outgrind them by drawing a few more cards, that'll be a really good spot. Okay, our opponent discarded their own Liliana of the Veil, so they might have another one in the hand. It's more than likely they probably would have held on to it. Or we might be seeing another Chandra coming down, so we'll see what's going on. But other than that, this has been a nice little match of Magic. I've enjoyed it. Win or lose. We went to Game 3 against Jund. I'll take that. But yeah, it's all about, certain modern decks. Like, this is not a great modern deck. It's a fun deck. I enjoy playing it. It's just, I feel sometimes a lot of people place such a heavy emphasis on a deck that they compare it to like a tier 1 deck. And not every single modern deck is a tier 1 deck. There's room for decks that you can play that you can have fun with. And so this is definitely one of those fun decks. So, and it's always fun to, okay, we got Kolaghan's Command, 2 damage target creature or player, 2 damage up top, redirect to Liliana. They're going to return Dark Confidant to the hand. Fair enough. Alright, so next turn. Probably going to go and swing in. It's going to put them down to 10. That puts them in a spot where if they do go Dark Confidant, they're going to get their life total down pretty low. Path to Exile. Well, that is an answer for Dark Confidant, but we don't have white mana, so we have to stifle our excitement for a second. Let's go and get the Cryptbreaker down. Let's go and swing in. Yeah, I'm good with swinging in with 5 on this. We could try and draw a card, but nah, if you got 5 on the board, we're going to go ahead and push it through. Coming in hot. And then with that Dark Confidant, they're going to have to cast it and then get the bonus next turn. Okay, opponent's cracking a Catacombs. We might be seeing a Fatal Push right now or a Lightning Bolt. Either one would kind of take care of our zombies. Okay, they're not shocking again. Puts them down to 9. And then next turn, we're looking at 7 coming across. So that way, if they do go for Dark Confidant and they just happen to flip a 2-drop, that'll be more than enough right there. So, I'll take that. Well, actually, did they grab Dark Confidant? Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, they did return Dark Confidant. I saw the one in the graveyard, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot there's 2 of them. Alright, so we are looking at 7. If they do crack, that puts them down to 8, so you're really getting them down to 1. They kind of get in a rough spot. Okay, Lightning Bolt on the Blood Scrivener, fair enough. Now, we do have Cryptbreaker, so if we want to go Cryptbreaker, discard a card, create a zombie, we can go for that. That'll kind of give us an extra zombie, and it's going to keep us off the activation of Cryptbreaker, but we'll kind of see what we draw into. And if we do finally hit a fetch land, then we'll have active Path to Exile, which at this point they only have 1 card in hand. They're getting down a Dark Confidant. Hopefully we'll be able to close it out. Let's see. I think at this point, they do have Chandra in the deck. Maybe they took it out, but if they have Chandra, flip off Chandra on Dark Confidant, put them down to 4. So that's no laughing matter on that. See, we draw into. Looks like they have an activation during our upkeep potentially. Terminate on the Cryptbreaker. Let's go ahead and make sure we get our value. Let's discard the Path to Exile. I'd like to have it for Dark Confidant, but more than likely we're just going to leave it up. That way they, they're going to have that loss. We draw into Godless Shrine. They're going to have that loss of life trigger from the reveal. Let's go ahead and put the Godless. Well, do we need it that bad? They have 0 cards in hand. Let's go ahead. Do we want to swing in? The trade on the Confidant. Then we're looking at Raging Ravine the following turn, swinging in. But that's going to be them tapping out. They're going to have the Raging Ravine block if they want to, if we're going to swing in. Yeah, I'm trying to, if we swing in with Death Baron, we're going to lose the zombie. No, I'm okay with that. Let's not swing in with the Zombie Baron. Let's go ahead and get the, do we want to get the Godless Shrine down? Yeah, let's go ahead and get it down. And then let's go ahead and pass turn. Alright, so now we're looking at 5 next turn. See if they flip off the Dark Confidant trigger. Fatal Push. Okay, so that is an answer for our Zombie Lord. And there's one more card in the hand that we don't know about. So, they do draw into Fatal Push, pushes them down to 7. So we're looking at Death Baron being the target of Fatal Push, Tarmogoyf, and Fatal Push. Okay. So now we're in a little bit of a pickle. See if they swing in. We do have the Death Touch on the Zombie, which will completely take care of the Dark Confidant. But I think at this point we are at 20 lives, so I'm okay with just leaving the Dark Confidant out on the battlefield at this point. That's going to be one of our easiest ways for us to close out, especially with Fatal Push in the hand. So, and then they do have Gravedigger's Cage, so we can't do any shenanigans with the graveyard. So, yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and, well, if we push in for 3, it's going to have Death Touch. Do we want to see if we can't go for a Dark Confidant win? We swing in for the Zombie with Death Touch. They block on Dark Confidant. Take care of that. They swing in with Tarmogoyf. Then we can swing in on the back end. And if we swing it with the 2/2 Zombie, they go for the Fatal Push on the Death Baron, then we're going to lose Death Touch. Yeah, let's go and hold off. If we did swing in with the Zombie token, they do go Fatal Push on Death Baron. We lose Death Touch. They chump block with the Zombie, and then we're going to lose that Zombie token. And yeah, I don't like that. So at this point, I want them to either use Fatal Push on Dark Confidant to stop the reveal triggers. If not, hopefully we'll kind of keep our fingers crossed that one of these is a Chandra. Oh, not a Forest. Let's see if they make the Forest land drop for the turn. Fair enough. Alright, so at least Fatal Push in the hand and 1 unknown card. See how they want to swing in. We do have a 5-turn clock with Tarmogoyf swinging in for 4, so we can kind of get around that for a second. Not going to bite, dude. I am A-okay with that. Swinging in for 2. Now we kind of get into a spot to where if we swing in a double Dark Confidant, alright, dude. Living dangerously, man. Last card's Fatal Push. Let's see what we draw into. I love double Dark Confidant, man. Okay, if we swing in, we're looking at Fatal Push on Death Baron. That's a 2/1 chump block on Tarmogoyf. 2/2 on the other Dark Confidant. Yeah, I think at this point, man, let's. I like rolling the dice on double Dark Confidant. I think there's a Chandra hanging around in there somewhere, or another Liliana. That'll be a nice little 3. Yeah, we're just gonna hold. I feel better just holding off on this one. We have a chump blocker in the Zombie token. We cannot block with the Gravecrawler, unfortunately. But yeah, man. All right, let's get the double Dark Confidant trigger. Okay, got a land. Got another land. All right, buddy. They get the Catacombs down, and the other one's a cliff. I accidentally clicked off of it. But yeah, there's no better feeling in Magic than going double Dark Confidant, man. I love it. It's such a feel-good Magic moment. All right, now we do have Death Touch with the Gravecrawler, but we can't block. All right, swinging in for 2. Hey, we'll take it, man. Eventually, they're going to flip something off those Dark Confidant triggers. We'll go down to 14. Then they still have the Cliffs in the hand and 1 unknown card, so we'll see. One of them's Fatal Push, too. Let's draw something other than a land. Let's do it. Come on, deck. Draw a Swamp. Let's go and get the Swamp down. Now, if we push in, we're looking at 2. Because both of their Dark Confidants are tapped out. But they have Raging Ravine activation. So yeah, we're just going to go and hold off on this one. Once again, we're going to hopefully get lucky with those Dark Confidant triggers. Eventually we might see the Fatal Push on one of them. But yeah, that's pretty much it's going to be us playing her out. Because they have Fatal Push in the hand. If we push in, that takes care of the Death Baron. And then we're left with a 2/1 and a 2/2 body. That just gets eaten up by the Tarmogoyf, gets eaten up by the Raging Ravine. And then they're going to be able to swing in for lethal next turn because we're looking at 8, 12 coming across, well, almost lethal basically, puts us down to 12. Okay, so they're cracking on the Catacombs. All right, man. I want to see what those reveals are. Let's shock it in too. Why not, man? Fatal Push on the Death Baron. Okay, I'll take that. At least 2 cards in the hand. One of them is the Cliffs. See what kind of Dark Confidant triggers we got. They're bad, man. They hit 3 lands the last couple times. There we go. Tarmogoyf for 2. Tarmogoyf. They go down to 2. Fair enough. I like that. Now we get into a spot to where I'm trying to think. If we go Wayward Servant, it puts them in a spot to where they're going to lose that one life, and they'll be really close to their Dark Confidant trigger. But we have to have another zombie on top of that. Let's see how they want to swing in. Bring the Dark Confidants in, more than likely. Tarmogoyf's coming in hot. Alright, so that's going to be 8 coming across, which is going to put us down to 6. We only have one blocker in the zombie token. Do we want to chump block right now? If they swing in, that's going to put them into a spot. Well, if they swing out across the board, okay, there we go. So that's going to force them to use the Raging Ravine and the Dark Confidant. But I think at this point, we're okay with this. Swinging in for 6, it's going to put us down to 8. Yeah, we're okay with that. Fair enough, buddy. I'll take that. Take our chances on this. See if they're tapping out for Liliana the Veil. Okay. And they could, if they want to, -2 of themselves to sack a creature. Target play. Yeah, there we go. Junk time. Take care of the Dark Confidant. That leaves one more Dark Confidant. They might have another source of removal on it. Tarmogoyf, okay. Cross one of those off. And then they might go double Tarmogoyf. So that's going to put us on a Dark Confidant trigger next turn during the upkeep. See what we got. And then get rid of the cliffs. There we go. One card in hand. Draw into another Gravecrawler. Okay, I guess at this point, let's go and get the Gravecrawler down and keep our fingers crossed for a Dark Confidant trigger. I mean, we don't want to swing in. They just jump block with Dark Confidant. Alright, let's see. Got the fingers crossed. There's Chandra. I knew she was somewhere. Hey, thank you, Chandra. I will definitely take that. Alright, everybody, if you enjoyed that nice little beautiful Dark Confidant trigger flip, oh man, beautiful. Thanks, Dark Confidant. Alright, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.